Hi, my name is Rose Reevely. I'm a Vedic astrologer, and I'm here today talking about the lunar eclipse that takes place tonight in the sign of Cancer. Lunar eclipses affect us emotionally because they're ruled by the moon, and it affects us, our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. And this eclipse, I feel, is really setting the stage for the revelations or everything that will be revealed throughout the year of 2019. Now, Cancer is the first of the water signs. The second one is Scorpio. The third is Pisces. And Cancer is feminine in nature. It's reflective, and it's sensitive and caring and nurturing. If you have Cancerian friends, then you probably go to them first if you have a challenge or an issue in your life, because they listen to you. They make you feel comfortable. They are nourishing and nurturing. And so there's a comfortableness with Cancer. And Cancer, being the very first water sign, and all water signs actually deal with our emotions. And I often refer to the moon as our emotional mind. It's our intuition, our ability to perceive and discern the truth. And these are gifts that we are given. You might say that intuition, perception, discernment are all part of our navigational system. I call this our inner GPS. And the water signs really have a very fantastic ability to tap deeply into their imagination. And this is a resource for everyone of us. But the going beneath or below, as in subconscious, I'm referring to the subconscious mind. And through my work as a hypnotist and my work as an astrologer, I've seen that and noticed that water signs can really tap in to their imagination really easily and quickly, and they understand the value of being able to do that. It is a resource. So this is our navigational system, and this is where the eclipse is falling. The moon has rulership over our subconscious mind, and that includes our feelings, and it also rules over the masses of people. And in this way, it rules the collective consciousness of the planet. And that just means all the ideas and beliefs that the masses share, masses being people. This eclipse is shifting our shared mass, there's that word again, consciousness. Eclipses always sweep change into our lives, especially if they fall on or near personal degree, planets that are at a personal degree, that is coming in close with the eclipse. This eclipse is occurring at 5 degrees of Cancer. And so if you have planets near that point, it will absolutely affect you on an internal level. So they always reveal something that we did not know. Okay, eclipses always sweep something into our lives that we didn't know. Sometimes we pay close attention to that, and other times it's just a kind of like a notification. Our habits, our emotions, our feelings, and I'm going to say even our thoughts reside in this subconscious part of our minds. So again, this eclipse is really changing and shifting our consciousness, our awareness. Now, the star that the moon transits through during this eclipse is called Pusha. And Pusha means pure. It means holy. And it is considered to be, if not the most auspicious, certainly I would say it's in the top 3 of the most auspicious stars out of 27 stars or nakshatras. This star is bringing the energy to all of us, but the energy that it's bringing is the energy of spiritual enlightenment. I think this is a very beautiful, beautiful energy that's coming in. No one is left out of this journey. We are all at different places on our path to becoming more awake, aware, conscious. So Carl Jung referred to our subconscious as our unconscious. And this eclipse is bringing our subconscious, I believe, higher. Sub meaning below. It's lifting our awareness. And it's bringing us again to that place of being awake, aware. To what? To things that we didn't know before. We're being awakened. And I do feel many revelations will happen throughout the year. Eclipses, when they touch on these degrees of the planet, personal planets in your chart, they can have lifelong changes. They can have changes where it's just not very, it doesn't last very long. If it doesn't fall close to your personal planets, then it might be a change or a shift that doesn't last very long. But this one is a little different. One of the things that I really feel will shift this year is that more people will become interested in spirituality, mysticism, philosophy, all types of healing, body-mind, and body-mind techniques, various body-mind techniques. We have, the mind has the power to heal itself. And we're going to see more people become interested in all of these topics: consciousness, life after death, reincarnation, astrology, hypnosis, ESP. All of these areas are going to be really become more looked into. People are going to become more curious about them. They're going to want to understand on a deeper level how these things work. And so you may feel guided or led, or you might feel a whisper in your ear or a tap on your shoulder to look into one of these areas I just mentioned: mysticism, the mystery schools, and all of this is going to really become of interest. And what we could sum this up to in a way is to say that everyone is getting an upgrade in consciousness. We are getting an upgrade in our awareness of who we are. We're being woken up to who we are and the specialness that we actually have. Now, Cancer's association with the fourth house and our past reaches back. As the past reaches back, it also is our DNA. So think about that for a moment. So it also goes back to our ancestors, right? That is what our DNA really does. It's a mapping of our ancestral heritage. So things that could come up for you are in these areas: past lives. You may have a remembrance of past lives, and we honestly don't know how many lives we've lived, right? We may have lived hundreds, we may have lived thousands of past lives. So past memories, all of these areas or these feelings and emotions that kind of come floating to the top during an eclipse period really is a chance for us to heal the past. Anything that has happened to us in the past. And in most cases, this is going to be wounds that we have, that we carry from the past, either in this life or perhaps a past life. The power of this eclipse is that, and this is something you probably heard often, is what you can feel, you can heal. And this is a time for a lot of healing to occur. whatever those wounds have been, and I say this with compassion, deep compassion, whatever those wounds have been for you, those have been necessary in our lives for our spiritual growth. We will begin to see and understand this. And the beauty of this is that we can begin to let go of that pain, of that sorrow, and we can heal that. And so what happens is that through this, our consciousness is elevated, and we become more aware of who we are. So our thoughts, what we're thinking, every moment of all time really affects the mass consciousness. Positive thoughts uplift you, me. If I'm having positive thoughts, I feel uplifted. And guess what? I'm uplifting other people by having positive thoughts. So you're uplifting everyone around you, not to mention what you're doing for yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. And then, of course, the same thing. Negative thoughts affect you internally, mentally, emotionally, and they affect the planet. So, during this time, and especially, it's just to become aware of your thoughts. And any time that you are feeling in a sense negative, or you're not having an empowering thought, just take 3 deep breaths and shift that thought into the opposite of feeling clear, feeling lighter, and start to notice that with the breath you can change your thoughts. Now I want to speak for just a moment about the USA's chart in this, and say that in the USA's chart the eclipse falls in the 8th house. And this is a house of transformation. And it relates to many areas. But when you think about the word transformation and you put it with the 8th house, just know that anything that the 8th house deals with is going to be a transformational matter. Here are some of the areas that the 8th house, and everyone has an 8th house in their chart. For the USA, again, the eclipse is falling in the sign of Cancer, and that is the 8th house of the USA's chart. It relates to transformation. It relates to control and manipulation, scandal, disgrace, bankruptcy, the underworld, uncovering the truth, getting to the bottom of things. So you can kind of sum this up in a sense, with the 8th house is related to secrets. The 8th house is related to secrets. So, and remember what I said earlier about the moon and Cancer and the past. And so this relates to secrets that has been withheld from our country, from us as citizens of the USA. And we're going to begin to have a revealing of sorts throughout the year. Now, what's interesting about the USA's chart is that Mercury is also retrograde here in the sign of Cancer in the natal chart of the USA. And the eclipse falls right on that star of Pusha, and within 2 degrees of Mercury. Remember, Mercury is the planet of communication, and it rules over all communications. The written word, the spoken word. Mercury rules business and commerce and contracts and money. So this is a huge area that Mercury rules over. And what is also interesting is Mercury rules the intellectual or the thinking mind, and the moon rules the emotional or the feeling mind, okay? And so this eclipse is falling right there and in this area that affects us intellectually, in thinking, and also in feeling, in our thoughts. So this means that we're going to get a lot of information, and we already do, right? We are information, most of the time on information overload because we have so much information coming in. But this information is going to be a lot about the past and what we have not been able to see, what has been hidden from us. What is a secret? It's something that is not, it's something that we don't know, but we want to get to the bottom of it. That's what the 8th house does. It gets to the bottom of things. And so this information that is going to be coming out over the upcoming months, we are going to feel disturbed at times by this information. It's going to be either that we may feel too much is coming in, the changes are shifting, things are happening very fast. It's very hard to wrap your mind, as people say, or wrap your head around it. And so when that happens, I encourage you to stop and connect with your breath. And I'll give you some other tips here at the end of the video. So the 8th house, again, that we're talking about the mass consciousness, and specifically I'm talking about the USA in particular right now, and that this is a house of inheritance, and we're going to find out, we're going to clearly see what we have inherited, because now we're here. It's an incredible time to be alive on the planet when these kinds of shifts in humanity are occurring. And so we're going to get an upgrade, but we're also going to find out what we've inherited and how in that process we can move ahead to make the correction, to see the truth, to really see the truth. So Jupiter is the guru planet, and one of the wonderful things about this eclipse too, and there are, I think, quite a few, but Jupiter is the guru planet, and it will be aspecting, meaning it will be casting its light on the eclipse. And what that means too is it's going to magnify it. And Jupiter is also bringing us information and wisdom, divine understanding and knowledge here. And let me just say that probably the most beautiful thing of this is that Jupiter is the planet of divine grace. And I think everyone would say yes, we as a country, we as humanity, we need and want that. So this is not a time really to be fearful. It is a time of wonder, in a sense. It is a time to pay attention to everything and especially, I feel the truth will come out. The truth is going to come out, and through this, we will all be transformed. We'll all be changed. So it is necessary right now for us to evolve as humanity, and it's necessary for us to be transformed, to go through this transformational process. Here are a few tips to work with the energy of the eclipse. It's best not to make any major decisions during this time, and I even say about 2 weeks, really. That's a good safety measure, I feel. The reason for that is that information that's coming in could affect your decision one way or the other, and you really want to make an informed decision about anything in your life, right? About a career change, a move, whatever it is. You might need that information that's coming in over the upcoming weeks. It might be valuable for what your whatever changes that you're making, okay? Number 2, drink plenty of water. This is a lunar eclipse, and it's falling in the sign of Cancer. And so this is a water sign. And remember that water is cleansing and healing and hydrating. Eat light. Try to avoid eating heavy foods. meditate. This is a great time for meditation. And then last, but not really last, is my favorite thing to do is chanting. And because chanting lifts your vibration, it lifts your mood. It is definitely a mood enhancer. And what I would say to chant is Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And if you just start to chant this, you'll notice that your mood shifts and changes, and it increases it brings a higher vibration to you. And these words really mean I bow to transformation. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll be making about 2 videos a month. And if you'd like to know more about the eclipses, where they're falling in your chart, what changes might be coming your way, you can contact me through my website and we'll set up a consultation time. And I'll include my website below. It's rosereevleyastrology.com. Thanks for watching. Namaste.